Apple invests $1.5 billion in Globalstar to try to compete with Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink's DTC service. Will it help? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today, we have a little bit of fireside. So good, so good. Hope you're joining me with your cup of tea, maybe a cup of coffee, hanging out, talking tech, talking photo, talking video. Today is a technology day. We'll be talking about SpaceX Starlink DTC service in comparison to Apple's service that they're trying to, let's say, compete with Elon's, and it's just not happening. And I was reading an article and it kind of breaks it all down for us. I want to read some of this to you and give you my commentary about it. I think that Apple is flailing a little bit. They're seeing the writing on the wall, what is going on with SpaceX Starlink, and with their current company that they're using, satellite company, Globalstar, it's just not there. I just don't think they're going to be able to do anything with it. But I'll give you my thoughts by the end of this video. But more importantly, I want to hear your thoughts down below. We're going to go through once again this article. I'll give you my commentary, and then we will hear from you, won't we? If you're shy, you don't want to put something down there, that's fine. Put an emoji or something, just so I know that you actually watched the video. That would be much appreciated. So before we get into this article, I want to say that if you enjoy the content, throw it a thumbs up. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. If you are, I appreciate that. Click this little notification button over here so when I go live and when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. That's what YouTube says, at least. If you want any of my ebooks, they are free just for you being here. Go to JCristina.com/books. If you want more Starlink specific content, I put together a Starlink playlist just for you. There's about 360 plus videos over the last 47 months. Helpful how-tos, tips, tricks, what to do, what not to do, what to buy, what not to buy, and of course the why behind all of it, because this channel has always been about the why. And finally, if you want to say thank you for all of my hard work, there's a little thank you button. Click on that. Give $1 or $2 if you like. If not, it's perfectly fine. The video is still free. Consider becoming a member of the channel. That would be even better. So let's jump right into this article. Once again, I want to hear from you when I'm done with it down below, or put an emoji down there. I'll give you some of my commentary in just a second also. Apple's $1.5 billion deal with Globalstar has stirred up speculation that it could challenge SpaceX Starlink in the satellite communication space. But looking closer, this partnership may fall short in the face of Starlink's established lead, especially given that the different technological choices and ambitions each company is pursuing. Starlink already operates a robust fleet of over 250 low Earth orbiting satellites, with hundreds more in the launch queue, all orbiting at about 300 to 500 kilometers. This low altitude approach enables Starlink to deliver reliable, high-speed, low-latency internet that competes directly with ground-based broadband, allowing seamless streaming as well as gaming and real-time communications. In contrast, Apple's new satellite project with Globalstar, though heavily funded, $1.5 billion, pretty heavy, is expected to orbit around 1,400 kilometers, a far less efficient altitude for data-intensive applications. Absolutely, 1,400 kilometers compared to 300 to 500 kilometers, you're looking at 3 to 4 times greater altitude. That's going to be much, much slower. The latency will be much higher. It'll be difficult to do. Anyways, it continues. The higher orbit means greater latency. I said that, making it challenging for Apple to deliver anything close to Starlink's performance for modern internet needs. Apple's arrangement with Globalstar, focusing on limited emergency connectivity for iPhones, highlights its more narrow ambitions. Apple's priority appears to be ensuring basic satellite text and emergency features for iPhone, not offering a robust broadband-like experience that could compete with Starlink's global internet service. With 85% of Globalstar's new satellite capacity reserved exclusively for Apple, there's little room for broader, more competitive services. That is the case. This setup puts Apple at a disadvantage if it hopes to match Starlink's network for anything more than basic connectivity. Starlink, meanwhile, has a clear mission: to create a full-scale alternative to traditional internet, or terrestrial internet, particularly in remote areas underserved by standard broadband. As a result, SpaceX has focused on a high-speed, low-latency network that's effective in rural and urban areas alike, delivering a true global internet solution. Apple's focus on incremental iPhone connectivity may fall short for consumers expecting comprehensive coverage and broadband speeds. It's not going to happen. The new constellation Apple is funding, part of what Globalstar calls its Extended Mobile Satellite Service, or MSS network, may be a necessary upgrade, but lacks the scale or capabilities to compete with Starlink's real-time broadband connectivity. Facts. With SpaceX continuing to launch more satellites and refining its service, Starlink's approach is far more consumer-focused, offering robust broadband as a serious alternative for households, businesses, and government agencies alike. In short, while Apple's Globalstar investment will bring more reliable satellite connectivity to iPhones, it's unlikely to keep up with Starlink's dedicated broadband network. Absolutely. Starlink's proven track record and advanced technology positions it as a leader in space-based connectivity. Apple's narrow focus may add some iPhone enhancements, but SpaceX Starlink's vision is far ahead, setting a high bar in the race for global satellite connectivity. Absolutely the case. So I thought that this was an interesting article. It talks about, obviously, Apple sees the writing on the wall, all right? It needs to somehow bump up its service. And by adding an additional 17 satellites into its fleet, Globalstar's fleet, paying up $1.5 billion to Globalstar, but having equity in it, but also being able to use 85% of the Globalstar service just for its own, I mean, that's pretty good. The thing that differs here is you have Apple basically only going to be able to provide emergency service, and that is it. They're not going to be able to do high speed, any type of broadband with it. It's just not possible. At 1,400 kilometers compared to 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, it's a massive difference. Just a major disparity between the two. The latency with Globalstar is going to be far more in comparison to SpaceX Starlink. That's just the way it is. That's physics. There's no way around it. But by being so high, let's say altitude up at 1,400, they don't need a lot of satellites to be able to give complete coverage. As you get closer and closer and closer to Earth, that beam, let's say, that cone, all right, that cone of instance where we're getting connectivity becomes smaller and smaller and smaller in comparison to being further away where the cone is wider. Kind of follow that? So SpaceX Starlink needs more satellites to be able to give everyone service without any type of outages. That's why they're looking at about 43,000 in totality once they're done with this constellation. That would be just absolutely amazing. I don't even know. But when we see SpaceX Starlink version 3 satellites go up into orbit with the Starship, once the Starship is ready for that, speeds and latency are going to be off the hook. All right. I'm going to venture to say we're going to see latency below 20 milliseconds, probably right around 12 milliseconds, maybe even as low as 10 milliseconds. Just so you know, that is as fast as many cable providers and some of the not so great fiber suppliers also. So SpaceX Starlink will have latency right around the same as cable and getting close to fiber. But also, I really do believe they're going to be able to hit gigabit speeds. Now, they're not going to be symmetric. They'll be asymmetrical, but that's okay. Upload speeds are still going to be slower, but you're probably going to see with SpaceX Starlink download speeds of close to a gigabit. That is unbelievable. And when it comes to the DTC service, right now they're getting about 17 megabits per second. That is with an unmodified phone, an Android phone, an Apple phone, doesn't matter what it is. You stand outside, you'll be able to make a phone call. You stand outside, you'll be able to take a look at a video. That's 17 megabits today, but in 2 years or a year and a half when this is supposed to go commercial, well, you're looking, I would say, at least 50 megabits, maybe even more. And the really impressive thing with this is I have tried it and used it indoors. in this studio where these walls are poured concrete, 8 inches thick, and I was able to get that DTC service during Hurricane Milton right from this phone. This is an Apple phone. This is not a T-Mobile phone either. This is from AT&T. So really amazing that they're able to pump this signal into a structure like this. It is just baffling to me, but they can do it. So anyways, I think that Apple is kind of doing what they have to do to be able to at least make sure that their service is good enough, all right? And they can say, hey, you know, our phone has emergency service on it. So 1.5 billion for them is really, you know, a drop in the bucket. But will it have any type of means of competing with SpaceX Starlink and their DTC service? Absolutely not. Like they said in the article, currently SpaceX Starlink has about 250 DTC service satellites currently in orbit, operational. That number is going to exponentiate. They're looking at hundreds and thousands more of those DTC satellites. If you don't know what DTC is, that's direct to cell, meaning that your phone can communicate with a satellite like an old school sat phone without modifying it. You just use it, all right? Which is absolutely unbelievable. And the implications of what this means for example, telcos, the wireless telcos out there like AT&T, Verizon, and all the rest of them, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Anyways, what say you down below? What do you think about all of this? I want to hear from you. Once again, if you're shy, put an emoji down there. That will be fine. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools and my merch and my shirts and my tees and my books and everything else. Check it out, JCristina.com. If there's something that you like, pick it up. Help support me and my family. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.